I'll never forget the night she said it. We were sitting on the couch, the hum of the air conditioner filling the silence. I had just asked her how her day went, expecting the usual small talk, a little laughter, maybe a shared cup of tea. But instead, she looked at me, eyes wide, trembling, and said words that felt like knives sinking into my chest. We're sleeping together, but it doesn't count. For a long moment, I couldn't speak. My hands gripped the edge of the couch, as if holding on could stop the room from spinning. My mind scrambled, desperate for some sort of rational explanation, but nothing came. My heart was pounding, my chest tight, and all I could think was, how could she say that? How could she look me in the eyes and say something like that? At first, I questioned myself. Maybe I'd misunderstood. Maybe she meant something different. But the way her voice quavered, the way she avoided my gaze, it wasn't miscommunication. It was confession. In the weeks leading up to that night, there had been subtle signs I tried to ignore. Missed calls that she brushed off with flimsy excuses. Messages that disappeared when I walked into the room. Long nights when she claimed to be at a friend's, yet somehow the energy, the scent of someone else on her clothes, felt too familiar. I kept telling myself I was imagining things. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I was being paranoid. But deep down, a quiet, gnawing doubt had been growing. And now it had a name. I asked her, voice low, almost shaking, What do you mean? She hesitated, and I could see the conflict in her face. Her lips quivered. It's complicated. I didn't mean, I can't explain it properly. I didn't want to hurt you. Every instinct in me screamed in betrayal. Hurt? The word barely covered it. Confusion twisted into anger. I could feel years of trust unraveling in that single moment. I tried to process it logically, retracing the past months. Every affectionate text, every laugh, every kiss suddenly felt like it could be a mask. I remember the way she always kept her phone face down, how she guarded her private messages, how certain weekend trips seemed unnecessary, yet she defended them fiercely. It all clicked in a painful mosaic of deceit. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just sat there, letting the room spin, listening to her stammered explanations. She confessed that it wasn't just one night, but a series of encounters she convinced herself didn't count because, in her mind, they weren't about love. They were something else. Something she couldn't even define. Her guilt was tangible. I could see it in her eyes, the way she twisted her hands together, the quiet trembling. She tried to justify it. Loneliness, feeling unnoticed, a desire to be desired. Her words were raw, honest in their flawed logic. And somehow, that honesty hurt even more than the betrayal itself. I remembered our mornings together, the small rituals I had cherished. Her smile over coffee, the gentle touch as we parted for work, the quiet warmth of her hand in mine at night. All of it now tinged with doubt, as if the memories had been layered over a hidden truth I never wanted to face. For days, I wandered through our home, haunted by the past, replaying conversations, searching for clues I might have missed. Every laugh, every casual touch, every whispered, "I love you," became suspect. My heart ached not just for what happened, but for the way trust had eroded silently, so slowly. I hadn't noticed until it was gone. The turning point came one evening when she tried to reach for my hand. I pulled back, tears brimming. "I need you to understand something," I said quietly. "I can't ignore this. I can't pretend it didn't happen. You can't just tell me it doesn't count. Because it does. It counts because it's our life, our love, and you've broken that." She nodded, understanding finally etched in her features, her own tears streaming. "I know. I'm so sorry. I can't take it back, but I want to make it right. I don't expect forgiveness. I shook my head. "I don't know if that's possible, but I need to reclaim myself first. I need to find the strength to decide what I want, without being swallowed by anger or pain." In the weeks that followed, we spoke less and reflected more. I thought about love, about trust, about self-respect. I realized that betrayal doesn't just fracture a relationship. It fractures your sense of reality, your understanding of intimacy, your ability to feel safe. But it also forces clarity. It forces you to ask the hardest questions. Who am I without this lie? What I deserve? Eventually, I understood that forgiveness isn't always about the other person. Sometimes, it's about reclaiming your own dignity, your own peace of mind. I decided I could either let this betrayal define me, or I could let it teach me. Months later, standing alone in our bedroom, I felt the quiet strength settle into me. The pain was still there, always would be, but it no longer dictated my choices. I had faced heartbreak, confusion, and loss, and I was still standing. I had survived. I had reclaimed my life. Some nights, I remember her confession and the ache it brought, and I let myself feel it fully. But the lesson lingers. Love is precious. Trust is fragile, and self-respect is the only foundation that can withstand even the deepest betrayals. I don't know if our relationship will ever recover fully, but I do know this. I am stronger, wiser, and more careful about where I place my heart, and that, in the quiet aftermath of betrayal, is a victory no one can take from me.